Okay. Whew, Lordy. I don't even know if I've recently worn blue, but this is happening. So it's like whatever. I don't even care at this point. I do too many of these. All right, let's get everything rocking and rolling because I can't see chat. Okay, let's do that. Let's do the aunt. Let's check the aunt. That looks okay. Whew. Barim, how you doing? How you be? Top to the AB. And boy, has it been a Sunday. I'm all worried about Dallas. This is going to be kind of a shorter stream because I need to make some time to laugh or cry, depending on what happens in today's game. And I was like, well, I may have to book a trip depending on what happens. But I mean, I don't really want to go to Philly. I don't know. I just don't think I'll do well there. So I'm trying to debate on what's going to happen. Hopefully Dallas can pull through, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. So yeah, we'll get started in one quick second here. I just need to check on a few things, make sure everybody can hear me. That looks good. And yeah, everything looks good. I don't really see a problem here. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let me actually put it. let me actually put NFL.com up in a corner somewhere, so I can know whether or not to get upset or cry. No, I don't want to see the game. I just want to see the score. Right next to our support stuff. We gotta make sure everything is good. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Oh my God, what did I do? I broke everything. Okay. Let's go ahead and get it popping and cracking and lacking. Hi, how you doing? How you to be? Top to the AB, and this is a stream for technical support or technical issues or just troubleshooting issues or any problems that people may have with streaming or tech or video games or just about anything. My name is Anthony. My avatar is TheOpenForum. That's what I play video games with. And yeah, let's go ahead and get things started here. Okay, let's switch to work. There are a few topics that I wanted to discuss before we kind of got into it. As you can see, we have way few groups than we normally have. We can usually run through 7, but today we only have about 4, which should be enough to get us about maybe a couple hours. So we'll see how that goes. If not, we'll add some more. It's not that big a deal. But in first news, oh my God, what is that? I was actually trying to click on something else. Okay, here we go. Nintendo reportedly projects Switch sales are going up in 2023. Yeah, I don't see that happening, but sure. Bloomberg reports Nintendo is increasing Switch production for the next fiscal year after overcoming component shortages that have recently caused it to cut forecasts. Well, that's interesting. But with Nintendo, I know they're having the new Zelda game, which looks great, but how long are you going to stay on that hardware? Because it's like the first Zelda, everybody beat that Zelda like either on the Switch or as the Wii. The Wii was it the Wii? The Wii U was on their way out the door. Everybody kind of beat it on those two systems, but then everybody started playing them. Like with a PC version, and it looked gorgeous. And I was like, man, if only you can play the game at that particular resolution whenever it actually comes out. But if they're gonna do another Zelda game, it's gonna be on the exact same hardware. It's just like, come on, man. Even a Steam Deck beats you, and that's not saying a whole lot. So I don't know. I don't know what Nintendo had plans on doing, or if they're going to come out with new hardware before they come out with the new Zelda game. But I'll stick around and find out because I would love to have a new Nintendo system that can actually run Pokemon properly. Instead of, you have to wait for things to pop in and pop out. It's like it just ruins the ambiance of the game when, like you just sitting there and all of a sudden some Pokemon just comes out of the bushes because they just popped in. And it's just, Nintendo, they need to upgrade their products. But Nintendo, man, they like to hold on to things for the rest of their lives. Like that, like when the Wii came out or the Wii U, and then to the Nintendo Switch, like they held those consoles for so long, so long. But I mean, that's consoles for you. But yeah, and then we have a Tales from Tech support. So let me get some tea and get ready because these things are never short. Okay, I just made. Oh God, it's hot. I just made that, and I paid the price. Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me do that. I wonder if I did that and did that. I can see the score. No, I cannot. So let me do that then so that I can see the score. Okay, cool. All right, so this is from IT Tested. IT Tested writes, sometimes it pays to be the old fart. I understand. I have been doing IT in one form or another for 40 years. Congratulations. I'm reminded of a story when I was in IT contractor in Iraq. This would have been around 2006 or so. I started out as a help desk tech in 2003, but by 2006-7 had moved into networking job due to some fortuitous circumstances. One day, one of the help desk guys came in and asked me to come over to their office as they had a problem they couldn't figure out. Got over there and they had a computer that they were rebuilding. The guy working on it said they had successfully loaded the OS Windows in less than 4 minutes, but every time they went to boot the system, it would not boot up. They figured if anyone could tell them what was wrong, I could. I asked a few questions and got satisfactory answers, which told me they were doing mostly the right stuff, but obviously missing something. Then while looking in the front of the machine, I was like, wait a second. Is that a SCSI drive? He was like, yeah, why? Did you load the SCSI drivers while you loaded the operating system? Well, crap. Yep, you got to do that or it's not going to work. The tech doing the work knew but had forgotten. A couple of them had no idea there was such a thing or a procedure. Yeah, SCSI drive. Good Lord. Oh, I don't even know what to say to this. Good. This is a long time ago. What? That was 15, 7. Oh, that was about 17 years ago. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I had one that had that FireWire port and I plugged it into a USB 2 port. It set my board on fire. I mean, let's not talk about SCSI. Rule 1 of SCSI is we don't talk about SCSI. Talk about SCSI. Yeah, SCSI is like this old drive. It's kind of back there in the day. Even I barely remember it, but I'm not like ancient. At least that's what I tell myself as I cry myself to sleep. But I'm not that ancient. But that's essentially a SCSI drive, right? And you used to get a lot of those in the business field, but as you can see, it has the actual powered state over there on the corner. But yeah, SCSI drives. That was a thing in the past. It's no longer, well, I mean, it's kind of a thing, but it's not as much seen in the residential space at all. Any way to alter this case so it's not a furnace? Nope, it looks like a furnace. And it says Omen. It's yes, I don't think there's any help for that, bro. That looks hot. Wow. Remove the doors. LOL. Yeah, I would just remove the doors on this. This is woof. Drill speed holes. Speed holes are made with a rifle. Do it right now or don't do it at all. Yeah, that is I would not put anything in there. It looks hot. It looks like it would just set everything on fire. But, you know, I haven't actually seen the actual internals of the Omen case. I'm guessing there's some ventilation right here in this part right here because that's like oh, what's the name of that freaking case? I don't know. The Be Quiet case where they have ventilation right here in the front that kind of pushes air, but it only has this little sliver, and then you can close this off so that it's just like super quiet, but at the same time it doesn't really get a whole lot of airflow. But yeah, whatever. What else? All right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and turn this fan on and let's get rocking and rolling and rolling and rocking. Okay, let me check the score. Okay, it's the exact same. All right. So this is from Hashirama. Apparently he has escaped from Naruto and now he has an HP laptop. Hashirama writes, where were you at? Okay, make sure everything's okay, cool. HP Victus laptop screen repair, estimated quote and possible options. I feel like I've answered this question. I did answer this question. All right. Okay, cool. We'll just skip right past it. I grabbed the wrong. This is hilarious. Are you serious? Okay, Anthony. How are you grabbing the same case over and over again? Okay, this is a new one. Okay, maybe this will be quicker than I thought because it wasn't as many as I had originally anticipated. So I may need to give it a little bit of time to rehash itself, but we'll probably pick up on Monday after we go through these guys. But that still should give us a pretty good amount of time to work on this. But in any event, update: Mac does not work without being charged. What? Mac does not work without being charged. Apple quote $14.29 for repair. Oh my God, $14.29 as in money? That's a lot of money. Got a replacement battery for $190 via a local laptop repair store. but now I've got white spots that weren't there before. Appreciate everyone who pitched in to help with the previous post. That what? Okay, well that right there, that bleed in, that's insane. Is this a new PC or a used PC? Wow. Looks kinda like a bleed, but in in well, not in a straight line. It's kind of all over the place. It kind of looks like a bleed, but it's only in a specific location. What did they do? Maybe they did something to it. Have a video of what the laptop was like before taking it to the shop. Yeah, I'm not really sure on that one because I don't know the previous post. So I don't know the full details of what happened with this man's PC, but that doesn't look very good, man. I would whoever worked on it, I would just take it back to them and just be like, "Hey, why do I have this little bleed and damage here to the bottom of my screen?" And have them take a look at it because I can't really say what that is because I don't even know what your previous post was. So, yeah, but that's kind of an interesting one. Keep an eye on that one. Okay, so we got a whole video here. All right, let me get the headset out. Hold on, let me get ready. Oh, my bad. My headset was already on. Come on. There's no sound? But boy, is it pretty. Hold on, we gotta see that again. It's pretty. I give you that. It's pretty. He got a whole ocean in his with a background screen and stuff. Like, good lord, he got Subnautica going on inside his PC, and that 4090 is huge. I've never seen the reference 4090, but that's a big boy. Wow. If some if Subnautica was a PC, lol. I think that's how you spell Subnautica. Subnautica is like a PC game where you pretty much just dive in water and take pictures of stuff. It's like well, okay, it's like Pokemon Snap but underwater. But I've never actually played Subnautica like a whole lot, so I'm not exactly sure everything that goes on in that game. But I remember it being pretty. And that is actually a extremely pretty desktop. I like a lot of people go with this desktop here. This 11, whatever it's called. It's freaking huge, but it is so pretty. So I get that kind of like showing off all your components and kind of thing. But if I show off my components, I don't have room for all these monitors. I have like 20 monitors, so I have to have room for all these monitors, and I feel like a big desktop would just get in the way. But sure. Congratulations though. Nice build though. All right, group 2. Let's do this. All right, phone acts weird. Did I work this already? Android. What a question. All right, so this is from Sir Kowalski, and Kowalski writes, "Phone acts weird. Search the term, don't want to say it on Reddit on anonymous browsing, and then suddenly somebody added me on Snapchat whose name was starting with that word. What? Okay. Search the term, don't want to say it on Reddit on anonymous browsing. What term? And then suddenly somebody added me on Snapchat whose name was starting with that word. Should I be worried? I'm guessing whatever word you were trying to say is not a good word. Well, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, you got it posted to malware. It starts with that word. Should I be worried? Added you on Snapchat whose name was starting with that word. Should I be worried? Well, not sure what word you're talking about. Um, I'm not sure. What word are we talking about here? Are we talking about the word potato? Because I mean, if it was potato, you know, maybe it's like Frito Lay's or something. Um, I don't know what word you said. So how am I supposed to answer this accurately? Well, adding you on Snapchat isn't really that hard to do if someone has your Facebook user information. A lot of times people use the same username across all platforms, and adding someone on Snapchat isn't a violation of anything. However, unless you want to star in a scary movie, I wouldn't add them on Snapchat. LOL. That's the way I feel about it, man. I'm like, you know, I don't know exactly what you said, but you know, if somebody actually contacted you with the exact same name that you searched for, I would be a little nervous. But at the same time, I wouldn't accept the Snapchat. So you know, I don't know. I live in Texas, so you know, we kind of always keep an eye on our belongings and our eyes in the back of our head in case anybody's looking at us funny. So I don't know. With this one here, I would just say, uh, it's kind of hard. Like nothing really happened, right? Because all you did was go to a site and then somebody added you on Snapchat. So it doesn't sound like somebody hacked you or any malware or anything malicious that's taken place. It sounds like it sounds more like a coincidence than anything, but I don't know exactly what word we're talking about. If the word is "the" or some type of preposition, I don't know. Did you go under a tree? Like what happened? So because of that, I don't know how to answer this properly. I need more information. What word are we talking about here? But I'm guessing it's a bad word, but I don't like bad word. Like, are we talking bad word like coffin? Or worse word than that? I don't know, man. So you're gonna have to give us some more information if you want us to help. But I mean, you know, Kowalski, man, keep your eyes in the back of your head, and yeah, stay off certain terms. You never mentioned why you said the word that you said, but whatever. Maybe try that oh, you say you was already an anonymous. Okay, I was like, maybe try incognito next time. But then I saw the anonymous browsing. Okay, well, I don't know what to say, bro. You didn't give us enough information to work on that. Okay. Oh, we already fixed this. PC not booting when I pull PCIe Wi-Fi. Okay, I guess we already fixed them. Okay, so this was showing up as a repeat, but it looks like we already fixed him because he already deleted his post. So I'll take that as a W. We collect W's here, and that's another W for us. We'll take it. Thank you. So this is from Isaiah Sharon. Okay, cool. How do I fix this? Got delivered to me like this. Fix what? I don't see what's wrong. Does anyone see what's wrong here? What's wrong? What, what am I looking at? You have to be more specific. Man, why do they do this to us? Like, how am I supposed to know what you're talking about? Is it the USB ports? What am I looking at? Like, what are you trying? Oh, okay. 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 I gotcha. I gotcha. I gotcha. So what he's saying is the back panel plate is a little bit offset. So because of that, he can't reach some of the components that are on the inside. Almost as if it got dropped. I gotcha. I gotcha. How do I fix this? Got it delivered to me like this. Well, well, how we used to do it, how we used to do it in the day was plug in an Ethernet cable, and while holding the Ethernet cable, we jiggle it into submission. But the back of this looks like a Dell, so it may just be damaged. If what I said above, if what we said above does not work, then I would just personally RMA. The reason why I'm RMAing is not because of this damage, because this damage is super minor. Because 9 times out of 10, you can probably get all your ports in and not even worry about it. But it's more so because I worry that if it actually got dropped, there's a possibility that some of the components may have gotten damaged. And even if it's working now, there's no guarantee that it may not work in the future. So I would rather just be safe and then make sure that they go ahead and RMA that device and give me a newer one. That's the reason why. But this happens. This happens a lot. Especially if it moves around a little bit in shipment, or if it just moves around a bit in general. But this happens. But yeah, what I said here is true. This is what we used to do in a day. We used to plug in an Ethernet cable. So because if you look at all these ports, right? Okay, so USB 3, you don't want to do that. USB 2, you don't want to do that. Displays, you don't want to do that. And then the USB 2s and these ports here for the mouse and keyboard. This is what we used for mouse and keyboard back then when everything was analog. But if anybody didn't know, but all of these ports are loose or weak. The only one that's strong is Ethernet. So basically, you just plug an Ethernet cable in there. If you look, you can see that it can go all the way in there, and then hold the Ethernet cable and then jiggle it. And by jiggling, by you going like this, it'll make it so that it lines up properly. So it could just be like it's a little bit stuck, and it'll line up properly with the Ethernet cable. That's how we used to fix this kind of a situation when we got Dell devices in bulk. We'll just, plug in the Ethernet cable and jiggle it until it actually lined up properly. But, man, it's been a while since I've seen a green and purple. Yeah, I had to explain it to people because I was getting kind of worried. Like, this is very, 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 very old school. I don't think anybody uses this anymore. That was back when keyboards and mice only had one manufacturer, which was Dell. Nobody else had a keyboard and mouse. It was just Dell. I think Logitech had mice back then, but that was pretty much it. It was either Dell or it was Dell or it was Logitech, and that was pretty much it. There was no Razer. There was none of that. You only had 2 options back then. But yeah, back then, I mean, life was simpler. You only had 2 options when it came to keyboard and mouse, and they both sucked. Cell membrane all the way. Is this another one that I worked? Oh my God, why is everything something I've already worked? I'm sorry. Usually I pick better, but apparently not today. So this is from Zoblon, and I think we already said that. Well, there is something on it of importance. If your newer phone is an iPhone, if so, I probably already has everything on that phone. You can just wipe it. Oh, okay, cool. I sent them the instructions to wipe this. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and move on today. Alrighty. So this is new. This is from Bantam1. Who let these people loose? PC and PC parts. Hello, I'm a first-time builder. Just finished my build. Gigabyte Aorus RTX 3090. That's your first build? Aorus C690 Elite DDR4, 16 gigs of RAM, 850 watt gold, and an i5 13600K 13th gen. When I try to turn on my PC, I get no input image, and I get 5 beeps, then it turns off. Do I have to update my motherboard to support 13th gen CPUs, or is it because it overheats? Since I have no thermal paste or CPU cooler till tomorrow, someone please help. Oh my God. That's when you have more money than sense. That's exactly what that is. I have more money than sense. If I had more money than sense was a person. Jesus. I mean, I like your build, but yeah, you don't ever want to do that. You got to put in the cooler and the thermal paste, man. Otherwise, it's not gonna have a good time. And on top of that, as a 13th gen, man, that thing is a fireball. You literally unleash a flamethrower in your chassis without anything to cool it. Well, now, okay, that's what we're doing today. Posts like this make me wonder if these people do any research and retain any of that knowledge before building. Nah, they just buy the expensive parts with dad's credit card. Who needs thermal paste in a cooler anyway? Exactly. You just want to watch everything burn. And by burn, I mean your computer. Mayonnaise should do the trick. Miracle Whip has better heat dissipation. Super glue. Oh my God. I think he just has a faulty case to be on. This is what happens when you don't properly sand down your motherboard pins. Jesus. I can't think. I think he has a perfect case of what the WTF. Modern CPUs are well-protected PC, which should just shut down after a few seconds. Yeah, or catch fire, whatever. I would point out that he's missing the whole cooler, not just the paste. Literally just a naked CPU. No, but it's okay. It's coming tomorrow. Oh, he's fine then. False alarm. It can run until tomorrow without overheating. Yeah, exactly. He can even play Crisis. Even so, CPU has thermal protection. It would power down in theory. I'm not brave enough to test it. I agree. I'm not either. Nor am I brave enough to touch it because that's insane. Because those things get super, super hot. And I'm not even the one to try to touch it with my fragile hands. All right, let's go ahead and go to group 3. All right, so this is from oh, this other one we already worked. What is going on, Anthony? Yeah, he didn't even reply. Okay, cool. Well, is this a repeat? Okay, this one can't be a repeat. It's beautiful though. Put together my first build in 6 years, Intel i7-13700K with a 7900 XTX. Very happy with it. I would love to make a purple build. Purple is my favorite color, so I was like, man, that is. I like the cables that are going around it. That is insanely beautiful, and the fans. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Barney would be proud. Yeah, that is. Oh my God, I can't even spell Barney. Barney. There we go. There we go. Barney would be proud. He would be. That is very pretty. Does he only have one case or one picture? Yes, he does. Oh wow. Yeah, that XTX is really nice. I kind of miss. Well, it's kind of weird that he has this cable going through the front instead of through the back, but I kind of get why, because it's prettier that way. Why not? I mean, I mean, the fan's still getting airflow, so whatever. It's kind of pretty though. I like it. It's a very beautiful build. Congrats on your first build, man, and build in 6 years, because that's no beginner for sure. This isn't so bad as long as I don't put lemon in it. This is that other tea that I had that was just kind of meh. All right. Lim1697 writes, make sure here. Oh, my frames are dropping a little bit there. But they're not dropping anymore, so I think everything is okay. I just noticed, I'm sorry. 5% shouldn't have made a difference, though. It was probably because it was just starting, but it's okay. Lim1697 writes, PC fans turn on, no display, no lights. Okay, we got a new issue. Oh, no, we don't. Oh, my God. What is going on with me? Why is every issue a repeat that okay, whatever. Apparently I did a lot of work. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Logging into MacBook. If I log into my MacBook, is there a way to be updated? It's been logged into on my iPhone. Okay, I remember this from yesterday. Nope, unfortunately, it won't show that as the computer is not connecting to a domain. Okay, then would it be obvious someone was on a MacBook that's connected to iPhone or iMessage if they received a text when the computer was open? Or do all texts go to computer when it's closed? Thanks so much. This is my last question. Okay, let me go back. What did he said? He said, okay, and then would it be obvious someone was on a MacBook that's connected to iMessage if they received a text when the computer was open? Or do all texts go to the computer even when it's closed? Thanks. This is my last question. Well, all texts go to the MacBook, but it won't display them until you open the application and it has a minute to catch up. Outside of that, you won't know as the application is not open. Well, all texts go to the MacBook, but it won't display until you open the application and it has a minute to catch up. Outside of that, you won't know as the application is not open. Yeah, it won't really show you. Now, if the MacBook is open, it will let you know when you get a message. It will let you know when you get a message. It should. Yeah, it does. It does. I was kind of going back through my head because there are certain situations where it wouldn't let you know. But I never run iMessage. I never keep it open because I don't need to, because I can just have my cell phone right near me, because I got to use my cell phone anyway for two-factor authentication. So it's already there. So I never needed to actually leave iMessage open. But it does. It does let you know though. I'm pretty sure it does. Now, if the MacBook is open, it will let you know when you get a message. I would say it that way. But yeah, when if the MacBook is off though, it's not gonna tell you or let you know or anything. It's not like it's gonna power on and pop on because you got a text message. It would only let you know as soon as you open up the program though. All right, fine job. I hope that helps. Man, you got some quick turnarounds, man. All right, so another meme. Okay, let me get ready for this one. Oh, that's good stuff. I can smell the despair. I've installed Edge for you. I swear you're gonna like it. Sure, Windows, let's install Firefox now. That's cold-blooded. Wow. I felt that burn from Google Chrome. That is hilarious. Like I got Edge, yeah, Internet Edge. I think what happened over the career of Internet or just Explorer is that it made people so annoyed. Internet Explorer, there's so much hatred around Internet Explorer that changing the name is not enough. I don't care if it's Internet Edge. I don't care if it's Internet Your Mama House. I don't care what it is. People hate Internet Explorer with a passion. And nobody hates Internet Explorer more than people who hate Bing, because it's like, okay, I'm trying to get to Google, but did you mean Bing? I can kind of get you to where you want to go, even though my searching capabilities aren't as good. Like, I think Bing plus Internet Explorer made everyone hate Internet Explorer. So now Edge comes out and it's not actually bad, but everybody's going to hate it because it's not Firefox or Chrome. So yeah, I get you, Internet Edge, but I won't use you. But I do get you. I'll support you though in case you have any issues or whatever, but that's pretty much as far as it goes. All right, group 4, let's do this. Alrighty, this is actually going pretty quick. Well, a lot of them are repeats, but this is not a repeat. Okay, cool. This is a long one too. Okay. All right. This is from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Michael. All right, Michelangelo writes, buggy LAN controller. My problem is that I have a ROG Strix B550A white motherboard, and the LAN controller on it just doesn't want to work every 100 starts. 100 starts? That's a very specific answer. Sometimes it just says it can't start the LAN port, and I fixed it somehow temporarily 2 times, but it still happens. It's an Intel i225V 2.5 gig port. I think it's just a faulty product I received, but now I don't have the time to send it back. I need it at the moment. My idea was I use a PCIe adapter that has a 1 gig LAN. I still had that and never used it. Now when I try to install it, I shut off and delete the motherboard LAN controller and put in the PCIe one. I installed the drivers and everything. For some reason, the motherboard is back. Normally that wouldn't be a problem, but over the PCIe adapter, the only thing that works is all the Google services, nothing else. All the Google services. Okay, nothing else. If don't have a LAN cable to my motherboard, LAN adapter, just the PCIe. When I try both, something that shouldn't work at all because it could talk to itself, it is the exact same. I think that the motherboard still tries to use the motherboard one and doesn't want to use a PCIe adapter. How can I tell it to just use the PCIe adapter? I was about to get up on it. I fixed it. The problem was that I had a PCIe to 4 SATA adapter installed. It was installed 1 slot up. PCIe to SATA. My CPU just did not have enough PCIe lanes to handle my GPU in both adapters. And now the SATA one is out and it works. The motherboard one is still broken but fixed. And if helped someone in 5 years from now with the same problem, you're welcome, sir. Okay. So let's talk about his issue. So, okay, he had an issue with his motherboard and the Ethernet jack that was on his motherboard. He has an ROG Strix B550A, right? Which is a full size? Yeah, it's a full size motherboard. Images. He had this guy, or this guy. All right. Yeah, this guy. So he had this guy here. So this guy here has a 2.5 gig port on the back. And then essentially the Ethernet port that was on the back was going out or having some issues and being faulty. And then so what he ended up trying was he had a Ethernet adapter, a 1 gig Ethernet adapter going into a PCI port, or just a PCIe Ethernet adapter. So he tried to plug it into one of the ports. And because he had something that was already in there, which was a PCIe to SATA. Okay, so here's the thing about PCIe to SATA. It eats up lanes like nobody's business. So if you have like a PCIe to SATA and it's like 4 ports, it'll eat all these. So he had a PCIe to SATA and it ate up all his lanes. And because of that, he couldn't actually use his other PCIe ports for his LAN, his PCIe LAN card. So he had to remove the PCIe to SATA so he can get all his lanes back so that he can add the other card. So that's typically what happened with this particular situation. But to answer his question, if you were to plug in something into the PCIe slot and it's still using the Ethernet jack, even though there's nothing plugged into it, all you want to do is go to Start, Control Panel, and then Network and Internet. And then from Network and Internet, you want to click on the wired and the wireless controls and disable them. And the only one that should be enabled is the one that's going into the PCIe slot. That's how you handle this particular situation. But it seems that he already fixed it, so, you know, whatever. We take assist trophies, even though we didn't type anything. Okay, this isn't even an assist trophy. We were just at the game. We don't know who won. We were just there. So yeah, he fixed his own problem, but he didn't close his own ticket, so whatever. I'm happy you got your issue fixed though, bro. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Okay. All right, so this is a repeat, but he replied back. Both shift keys are non-functional. Okay, I remember this one. So basically, both of his shift keys aren't working on his keyboard. However, it is not sticky. Before everybody jumps to conclusions and thinks that it's sticky, including myself. It's not sticky. I tried installing drivers, uninstalling drivers, turning sticky on and off, and also turning on and off filter keys, but they still didn't work. It's relatively clean and nothing is messing with the contacts. Is there any way to fix it? By some unknown means, the shift key started working again. Well, what happens if you plug your keyboard into something else like a console or laptop? Does the shift button work then? Also, you can try that front USB port on the PC to see if that makes a difference. Let us know. Thanks. As the same way the problem appeared, it disappeared. My shift keys are back to normal and I don't know how. Well now, okay. Well, I'm not sure what you want me to say to that, but okay. Let me grab some more stuff. I'm in technology, that's why. Tech. Okay, let me see. Let me look. Ooh. Oh no, we already looked at that one. I'm in access. This looks new. Oh, okay, I'll take that too. And okay, I'll take that too. Oh no, we already did that bleeding one. We already did that one. We already did that one. Okay, I think we're actually in pretty good shape now. Actually, let's scrap that one too. All right, that should be good. And then, okay, everybody's just fixing their issues nowadays. Streamcom DA6XL with the Aorus RTX 4090 master build. You know what? That's probably one of the cleanest implementations because it's not taking away anything from the card. Like that looks really good. Is that just like, is that the build? Like there's no case or anything? I feel like there is though. DA6L. I think he just took it off just so everybody can see it. Oh no, it's not. It's an OpenPC ITX case. Oh wow, that's really nice. I wouldn't mind something like that. An Open ITX PCIe or PCI case. That looks clean. Plus, it can fit the cables properly, so you don't have to worry about it. The graphics card completely blocks the original power cable placement. Thankfully, Streamcom includes plenty of extra brackets to play with. I didn't know what he was gonna say. Hey, that's actually really, really good that he actually got that to fit, because that is a crazy. But he has a Lian Li? No, that's not a Lian Li. That's not a Lian Li. But he has a very low profile CPU fan cooler. I wonder if you can actually fit a 240 on this guy. I don't see anything that's actually stopping you. Maybe like kind of just zip tie it or something to like a corner or something, but it's still pretty sweet. Didn't even know this case existed. Good to know it's friendly to the 4090s. LOL. Yeah, it's nice to make sure it's not that there's more cases that are, compatible with the 4090 that are ITX, because currently there's only like 3. So the fact that, there's another one here is actually pretty interesting, though I don't know if it will fit some of the other ones, but Aorus is probably one of the bigger cards. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Congrats to you, sir. DA6L or 6XL. That's actually a pretty good yeah. That'd be kind of nice, because then you can show off your build to people without having to pull it out. Like mine is like way down here, so it's really hard to see. So so it's now it's kind of difficult. So I have to take off all the front mesh, and then I have to pick it up and then show it to you, but then my stream goes out, so nobody can actually tell, and it just becomes difficult. So we'll just move on. I may switch it out. I don't know if I am or not, but okay, a part of me also, okay, let's talk about this, because a part of me also wants to get this this blade, man. This blade, man. Razor Blade 16. All right, so this guy here, yeah, this guy here. So this is a dual blade. It is a dual screen size Razor Blade 16. It alternates between UHD 4K 120 and 1080p at 240 hertz. Okay, it has a mini LED, which means that it gets up to 1,000 nits. Think about that, 1,000 nits. That is super, super, super bright. That's enough to run HDR. That is a very, very, very bright laptop. On top of that, it can run up to a RTX 4090. However, it's also a newer chassis, and it's a thicker chassis, which means that its cooling should be a little bit better. But we saw the cooling when we were looking at some of the graphics performance. It's not on this particular laptop. This one's not out yet, but I mean, I do worry that it's going to get kind of up to that 90 degrees Celsius, and I don't think there's going to be anything anyone can do to stop it. So that's the only thing I really worry about. But this right here, this Blade 16, I've been thinking about this. I was like, man, look, I would probably sell some of my gear just to buy this Blade 16, because it'd be nice to have something that I can just take and just grab with one hand and be done. I mean, I can take my portable PC, but it's kind of a pain to lug it around, especially if I'm trying to travel far. But this right here is pretty sweet. But that temperature will bite you in the butt. I'm sorry. If it's gonna hit like 88, 89, 90, I mean, I get that some processors like to be at that particular temperature, like AMD, but I don't know if I would ever want my laptop being that hot. It just seems like it's just way too freaking hot. It has 2 M.2 NVMe slots, 2 sodium RAM slots, and that's pretty much it with this guy. But it has multiple USB ports. It also has a USB 4 port, and it has an HDMI port and a combo jack, and the 18-inch actually has a full-size Ethernet port, which I was actually thinking about going with the 18-inch because it has the Ethernet port on it for like streams and stuff. But at the same time, if you travel, you're not going to be looking for an Ethernet port, because nobody really have it unless you go to an Airbnb. Like if you go to hotels, it's always Wi-Fi anyway. So it's like, do you really need it? But yeah, that's been what I've been looking at, is this darn blade. Every time a Razor Blade comes out, I start to get kind of curious, because the Razor Blade is I like the look of the MacBook, like the MacBook Pro and the MacBook itself. But the MacBook and the MacBook Pro, you can't run any games unless you try to run them on GeForce Now, but then there's lag. So I would rather go with something like a blade that kind of looks like one, or with that like aluminum finish. Like they have one that is straight aluminum that's pretty sick. But neither here nor there. We already looked at that guy. Where would I go to upgrade my laptop? I have a gaming laptop that I want to use for music production, but it's extremely slow when I use a DAC on it. Oh yeah, I remember this. Okay. This has to be the worst L's I've taken. Like I promise I read these, or at least I read the bottom of them, but maybe I was clicking a little bit too fast. Okay, here's one. Okay, good. Okay, out of all of the groups, I've only had like maybe 3 questions, but whatever. This is from Pinecone. Oh my God, these names, man. This is from a person named Pinecone. We'll call it that. At least I didn't go over it too fast. Home built PC has no display. Okay. My system home built PC is having some issues connecting to her monitor, and I was wondering if I could get any ideas on what to try next to solve the issue. When we plug the PC into the monitor and the wall, we get no display. We have tried plugging the PC into a different monitor and using different HDMI cables to no avail. We have also unplugged the GPU and plugged the HDMI cables directly into the motherboard. Although the GPU never showed any signs of malfunctioning, blinking lights, not running fans, etc., and it still does not work. I have checked all the pins twice and made sure they are all adequately plugged in as well. We have also tried every single combination of HDMI ports on both monitors. This PC is only a semester old, and when we first built it, we took it to the PC repair store for a BIOS update. She hasn't used the PC in a while because of going home on for the winter break, but it did work about a month and a half ago. All the fans and lights on her PC are working as well, if anyone is wondering about that. I'm wondering about the specs. I'm just wondering about the specs. What kind of CPU? Oh, what kind? I don't want to. Okay, based on the way they said that, I don't really want to ask them what CPU is because they may not know what I'm talking about. What kind of processor do you have for the motherboard? Starting calling things CPU, I kind of worry about it because, well, he said GPU, so he probably knows what CPU is. Okay, well, whatever. So with this one here, my sister, okay, blah, blah, blah. When we plug the PC into the monitor and the wall, we get no display. We have tried plugging the PC into a different monitor and using a different HDMI cable. Okay, but does the PC stay on when plugged in and powered on? Because if it stays on, then yeah, you're really just having a graphical issue. But you also said you've already tried to swap out the HDMI ports. So, does he stay on when powered on? I'll just leave it at that. Because that's really all you really want to know. What's the specs of the CPU? Because we need to know what specs of the CPU is because we want to make sure that you actually do have integrated graphics. If you don't have integrated graphics, then you taking off the graphics card did absolutely nothing. And so we may actually just have a graphics card problem. But if you do have integrated graphics and you hooked it up without the graphics card with just the CPU and you still didn't get a picture, well, that worries me because that means that you may have some issue with something else like the motherboard, which is bad. So yeah, we would need to know that. We would need to know what CPU you're using, and also if the PC actually stays on whenever you plug it in and power it on. Like if the PC is staying on, then yes, it means that you're more than likely to have a graphics problem and not necessarily a motherboard's problem, but it's not posting BIOS. Also, are there any errors on the motherboard? Kind of have to ask that one too. Okay, and then we'll leave them alone. So I just want to make sure that they answer all the questions. So I don't want to give them too much to work on, but just enough so that we can kind of get a good idea of what they're talking about. Okay, let's go back to the beginning here. Let me see the score. Oh, good. We're not getting smashed. Okay, just making sure. Okay, we did that one. Okay, we didn't do this one. All right. Battery draining while plugged in gaming. My battery is draining while gaming and plugged in at about 95. Plugged in to about 95 to even 88. Please help. How? What? What computer are we referring to? Some PCs cannot adequately power all the components with off-brand power supplies. A lot of times people who say that are using PCs and laptops that don't have the right adapters. Like for example, laptops in particular. Sometimes people like to use USB-C adapters or adapters of other computers in order to power it, and because of that, it basically does this trickle power kind of thing. And when it's doing this trickle power, it doesn't give enough to actually power the components. So, like for example, maybe it's 95, but his laptop is actually 125 watt. What? I had a motherboard issue before, so they replaced some parts, including the cord. It says 180 watt. Depending on your game's laptop parts, it could be underpowered for your laptop. What is your laptop? It's exactly what I want to know. What computer are we referring to? Some PCs cannot adequately power all the components with off-brand power supplies. That is exactly it. Like you gotta tell people the components, otherwise we're gonna have quite the time. Let's see if he actually replied and said that. No. So we're all saying the same thing, so we'll leave it alone. Okay. Do I want to Tales from Texas? That was a new one in there too. Let me grab it. I added Linus's chat, but everybody on there kind of, it's not necessarily a troubleshooting or helping kind of a thing. It's more of a look at this is crazy kind of thing. So I'm not sure if it's going to be as valuable as I want it to be, but we'll see. Well, valuable as in being able to help a bunch of people. And what am I even looking at? Okay, you have my attention. Why does that fish look real? I guess that's the better question. The real question is, why does that look real? That looks like a real fish, man. I mean, it's a possibility it could be a fake one, but that looks super real. I mean, how did he even get in there? Oh my God. Above the power supply too? That fish has water in his gills, man. What is wrong with you? But, you know, whatever. Fish and PC. That's exactly. What do you see when you look at this picture? I see a fish on a PC, sir. I don't know what you want me to say here. Apparently it's getting some nice airflow because you have triple 120 millimeter fans over here. Bass boost. That is, oh my goodness, sounds fishy. Like, what's underrated comment? It is, the only reason it works at all is it has hooks at the end that is really catchy. Okay, I can only take so many dad jokes before I'm ready to be like, no, this isn't gonna work. I saw this graph. This graph was kind of interesting for the MacBook Pro. How are both of these graphs 80% faster than the M2 Pro presentation? Okay, so M2 Pro is 20% faster than the M1 Pro and 80% faster than the Core i9. And then, wait, what? Okay, so this was his animation rendering in motion, and this is image processing in Photoshop. I always wonder why they posted that image processing in Photoshop. Like, I mean, there are some people that use Photoshop and need to have all that speed, but 40%, it's not going to make much of a difference, especially when you're talking about paying another $4,000 for it. It's like, I mean, we're talking about image processing. So we're talking about, like, if you're trying to export an image, like, it already takes 2 seconds. So it's like, I'm guessing we're talking about a bunch of photos, but even so, I'm just like not all that impressed. But 80% faster M2 Pro in Photoshop, but also 80% faster in animation and rendering. It could be when you pull the data out of your butt. Yeah, I imagine the data coming from marketing, asking engineering to find an image that Photoshop can process that makes X true. Yeah, I get that. Okay, we looked at the fishy. Okay, so we have the Tales from Tech Support one. I'll go back around to that. And oh, okay. Is DDR3 RAM and DDR3 SODIMM RAM the same? No. So as the title says, I'm looking to upgrade my Lenovo ThinkCentre E73. Holy crap. I don't know what that is. Oh, yeah. This guy does use SODIMM. All of these guys do. All of these little small Lenovo ThinkStation kind of devices, a lot of them do. Like these little small ones right here. It happens a lot. As 4 gigs is not enough, so I'm wondering if DDR3 SODIMM RAM and DDR3 RAM are the same. Sorry if it's a stupid question. What? As long as you buy a 4 gig stick, is that S? Okay, maybe I'm tripping because I thought that was SODIMM RAM. Oh, synchronous DRAM. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you meant SODIMM versus SODIMM RAM. I just thought you misspelled it. Okay, no. Okay, my bad. Didn't know. So SD-RAM synchronous dynamic random access memory versus regular SODIMM, which is going to be your laptop memory. I thought he was talking about laptop memory, but okay. Well, this person here actually already got it. So let me give him an up because he totally answered that one and I did not. So wow, this has just been a lot of L's today. Okay, Tales from tech support. Let's do this. Oh God, no, we not. I saw that. I was like, good Lord, no, no, that is not happening. Okay, let's not do that. Ooh, a mobile internet issue. I haven't had that in a while, and we already looked at that one. Cannot resolve DPC B side. And it's already has 20 people, so I was like, eh. Ooh, okay, we'll deal with these two. All right, so this is from Jeff. Okay, Jaffantifa Cakes. We'll just call them Cakes. Cakes writes, mobile internet issues ever since going to Spain. Ooh, he went to Spain. What time we got? Okay, we'll do these last two. Hello, I have an odd issue. I've been in Barcelona. Make sure my frame rate's good. Hello, I have an odd issue. I've been in Barcelona, Spain since yesterday afternoon, and I'm not able to access certain websites with my 4G mobile data, such as Microsoft website. When I try to enter some websites, Microsoft Swift key, Parkwell, amongst many others, I get the error DNS probe finished NX domain. This is on Chrome browser. Similar errors show on the regular Samsung browser. My partner has a similar issue when I share my hotspot. She can't use her data here. She has the same phone as me, which makes us wonder if it's a phone issue or a 4G LTE issue. Does anybody know what the issue is or error means and how do I fix it? I can still enter websites such as BBC. When back at the hotel, I'll test if I have the same issue on the hotel Wi-Fi. Yeah. Yeah, it appears your DNS is set to something else that isn't around that isn't reachable. Yeah, it appears your DNS is set to something else that isn't reachable. I'm not quite sure which device you are referring to here. I'm in Barcelona, Spain. I'm not able to access certain websites with my 4G mobile data. Okay, so it's your mobile data. Okay. So it's your 4G mobile data and you're not able to access certain websites. I would say the easiest way to troubleshoot this would be to reboot the phone to see if that makes a difference. Yeah, that should make a difference. If it's a hotspot, then reboot it as well. But swapping to Wi-Fi should fix it too. Yeah. So swapping to Wi-Fi and getting it back to the hotel should fix it as well. So you got to change this up, right? Because if it was a DNS issue and we're talking about a computer, then yeah, all you have to do is technically go to command prompt and then type in ipconfig space / flush DNS, which will flush the DNS cache and allow the new DNS to actually pull the right sites and the right locations and the right IPs for the sites, and then reboot, and you should be good to go. But because it's a cell phone, and cell phones don't really have that, but if I'm guessing his DNS is still set to Barcelona, so because his DNS is set there, he's going to need to either A, reboot his phone, or B, have to basically reset his network settings. But the best way to reset his network settings is to reboot his phone. Also, his SIM card could actually still be, well, okay. That's a good question. Also, did you change out your SIM card when you were in Barcelona? Depending on where you go, you may have to change out your SIM card depending on the situation. That's a question mark after that. So it's a possibility, you know, that he may have changed out his SIM card and maybe that's why it's set to that, because it's kind of hard like when we're talking about DNS on mobile devices, it's kind of hard for it to actually mess up because it's always going to be set to whatever the service provider tells you needs to be. So for it to actually still show Barcelona means that he may have changed out his SIM card. So that's what I'm thinking here. I think he may have changed out his SIM card to a SIM card that is more favorable to Barcelona, and because of that, he hasn't switched back to his original one. So maybe that may be what's happening, but we'll know more once he replies back. But yeah, he went all the way in. This is really simplified. Don't at me. I used to be a networking and engineer ops manager for for a telecommunications company. Yes, okay. And he's talking more about domain. If this doesn't fix the problem, are you using Android iOS? You need to set your DNS to automatic and try again if it's not working. Google how to change your DNS in Google. Also clear your browser history cache. He's talking as if it was a PC. That's the thing. Restart your phones. That's what you do. So I get what he was going here, and this is what I would say too if you were talking about a PC, but you're not talking about a PC. There's no real place that you can go to on phones, regardless if we're talking about Android or iOS, that where you just straight up change your IP address or set up your DNS and all that kind of stuff. It just kind of does it. So because of that, the only thing that you can do in those situations is restart the phone. So wasting your time. A phone restart fix the issue. Thank you. Yeah. I'm sorry for wasting your time. Yeah, bro. You who is this? 72.1 karma. Holy crap. This man is on fire. Jesus. How do you get that much karma? You guys have been doing this for a long time. Okay, well, props to him. Whatever his name is. Electro Fanal Gore. Good lord. Good job, bro. Good job helping the people. Man of the people, even though he seems kind of bitter about it. He's a man of the people, dot. All right, so this will be our last one here, and we'll call it tonight. Got a lot of stuff I need to take care of, but yeah, we'll call it a night tonight. We'll do a little early one. Changing MAC and IP addresses prevents site from opening and just keeps loading a blank page forever. So in my knowledge, the two main things I need to change to prevent a website from knowing I am the same individual, the IP and the MAC address. Please correct me if this statement is incorrect. But when I do change them, the website just gives a blank page and keeps loading forever. How is the site knowing that I changed the two addresses, and what should I do to appear as a new individual, just a random new site user? Well, it doesn't know what your private IP address is, the one on your computer. It knows what your public IP address is, and it knows the MAC ADDI because, well, it doesn't really know that MAC ADDI. It just knows the next hop's MAC ADDI, but we'll leave that alone. It knows what the public IP address is because that is what is used as the source IP when you route your traffic. So if you want to change the public IP address, you will need to power off your modem slash router for a few minutes and allow the IP to return to the pool. Use IP chicken to see what your public IP address is and what it got changed to. Yeah. Your knowledge is incorrect. MAC address is not visible to the website you visit. Your private IP address is not visible to the website you visit. That's a good way of saying it. To appear as a new user, you need to change your public IP via your ISP or use a VPN. You also need to clear all cookies and stuff from your private incognito mode. Yeah, public IP address. It sees your public IP address, and it sees the MAC address of the previous hop. So that's what it gets to, because basically it's sending me back to the hop. It's not necessarily sending it back to you. It's basically making the IP address, your public IP address, the destination, and then making the next hop, the next hop's MAC address, the MAC address that it's sending it to. So that's the destination MAC. So that's what's happening. But yeah, it's public IP address on this one. Sophie Piatri. And I think we'll just go ahead and end that one today here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna do a quick one here, and we'll kind of get back on target Monday, depending on. I think Monday everything will start to speed up a little bit, but I think everybody's kind of watching the game, so I'm just gonna stop this a little bit early here, and we'll pick back up tomorrow. I love you guys, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and like button. If you really like it, I'm gonna subscribe. I love you either way. Take care. All the best, and bye.